Well, hi, all my friends. I hope that this is a good Monday for you. Um, well, a few things going on. First of all, my father-in-law is in the hospital, so if you would keep him in prayer, that would be much appreciated by both me and Juliana. He is going through some health issues. He's 100, so anyway, they have him on antibiotics right now, and his confusion is less, and so yeah. Anyway, so if you keep him in prayer, that'd be great. Hopefully he'll get to go home by Wednesday. We'll see how he does. So that's going on, and then we have, I'm here in Southern California, so. We've been having fires everywhere again. So Lake Elsinore is probably about drive-wise, maybe about an hour from me, maybe less, maybe 45 minutes. Depends on the traffic. And the other fires that are going on is Riverside, and that's way to the east of me. And then the car fires that have really burned to the size of Los Angeles up in Northern California. And Los Angeles is really spread out, okay? So huge, okay? And these fires are just burning so darn hot that the firemen can't get the fires out. I mean, a normal fire usually is about 1100 Celsius or whatever degrees, and these are going way beyond that. And they're finding all kinds of anomalies in the sky, anomalies on the ground, anomalies in the clouds, anomalies with light, and anomalies with wind. So I know that it's man-made geoengineering crap going on. And we, why the military just can't go in there and take it out, put it out, and why they're not helping is another, story. So I don't know that it's Brown saying he doesn't want federal help or what, but he's, in my estimation, a total idiot to allow the spraying to continue over the skies of California. And why Trump is not doing anything about it, that's another thing too. So that's what's going on, and it's just not in California, it's in Oregon and Washington and Arizona. You can look at where are the fires happening right now. They're all over, okay? And then this week, of course, there's going to be monsoon weather happening, and some rains and everything, but you think California will get it? No, because they prevent it. If they can divert water, they can divert, anyone who can control the skies and the weather controls the world. That's what, I think it was President Johnson that said that. So that's what they've done. And the people who are trying to get back into their homes are really having a hard time, because they're saying that they don't have enough insurance, or the insurance is not cooperating, or FEMA. It's just a nightmare for these people, okay? So you can look up on YouTube the different events that are going on, and research it for yourself. Don't take my word for it, one of the people I've been listening to recently is a gal named Deborah Tavares, who has StopTheCrime.net. And of course she talks a lot about Agenda 21. Now Agenda 21 involves the UN. Why Trump hasn't gotten rid of the UN, how it's all tied in and his hands are tied, I don't know. Military complex and so forth, and on, deep state. From what I'm gathering through all the research that I'm doing lately. But what the purpose is to burn people out. And then people were saying, well, who owns California? China. Why did Obama have, China and Japan and everybody looking at all the land and stuff? For what purpose? Because they own it. We don't own it anymore. And Deborah Tavares was saying something about our Constitution, that we don't have a Constitution anymore. So these government officials who are running, government, saying they're under government, is doing it illegally because they're really not. So I'm not quite sure about that. So do any of you guys know about that? Our Constitution, are we still under the Constitution? If you would drop me a line on that, I'd really appreciate it. I look it up myself, and it says we are. Deborah Tavares says differently. She's got documents that talk about that, 1933, and then President Reagan signing off, or Bill Clinton, one of the two, signing off on something that gives the UN the right to do whatever. It's just nobody's, and of course the news is all owned by the Bilderbergs, and so they're all bought and paid for, and they have to follow an agenda. That's why it's called programming. Program the population, right? So I try not to watch it at all, unless there's a good film on, then I'll watch it. Otherwise, no. Speaking of a good film, I just saw one last night. The Gramercy Book Club and the Potato Pie Club or something. Very good, about these people who lived off an island near France and England that was occupied by the Nazis, and how they survived through. And it's just a great little story. I mean, it was just one of those little gems, Anyway, I thought it was an interesting title. So you want a good film. I've done some music. I'm still waiting for my buddy Brian to get back into town. So I've done a few songs that I enjoyed doing. I love Bob Dylan. He's my all-time favorite dude. Bob. And so I did Girl from the North Country because one of my friends asked if I would do it. And I think Brian and I should do it together. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll have to see. So it's doing some music. I'm having a little shoulder problems, so I'm trying not to do too much strumming and everything. I went to see a doctor and upper back thing, and the upper back feels better, but the shoulder's still a little tenuous. And he said, yeah, I get a lot of guitarists in here, Margie. And I'm like, oh God, help me with my shoulder, please. And so I've been, doing some praying and trying to bring in God's energy into me, and doing some self-healing, going inward, and forgiving, and trying to do a lot of that. Prayerful time whenever I can, even if it's just for a minute. I don't know, I think I'm more and more like Peter these days. I know God knows that I was not perfect, and I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to be, making the wrong decisions, and, but hopefully eventually, one of these days, be able to do the right thing, and to count on Him. Because, whenever, quote unquote, shit hits the fan, who do you go to, right? That's, who's the first person that you turn to? Well, everybody would say Jesus, right? Well, yeah, maybe you do, or or what do you rely on, really? So something to think about. I often will say a prayer, and then I have to think about all the past experiences and how things worked out. But that doesn't happen right away. You know, it takes time. And once you get over the initial shock of things, and you calm down and you get a little rational and take a step back, you know, then you can think, you know, about that kind of thing. But otherwise, you know, it's not the first thing that you think of, you know, when things go awry. So we have to bolster each other up as much as we can, whether it be through God's Word, things that we've learned about that help us, you know, whether it be through a good story or a good musical song. Yeah, so we need to be there, you know, for each other. And we're going to fall, we're going to slip, we're going to make mistakes. We are not perfect. And that's why we need the Lord. He knew that, you know, he knew that. That's why he did what he had to do. That's why he, you know, admonished Peter for trying to stop him by calling him Satan, you know. He had to die on the cross. It was perfect timing for what he did for us. Now there's other things going on too in the world, talking about aliens and ETs and UFOs and all of that. I rely on what Howard Storm said with his near-death experience, that when he was shown all these aliens and how he just couldn't take it anymore. You know, he told them to stop showing him, and it's a fact. I'm pretty sure that they've come out with Washington, if you will. It said that there's at least 39 different alien species that they're aware of. Well, I don't know how many Howard saw, but he said he couldn't do it anymore. And the Lord told him that don't mess with them. So what are we doing? We're messing with them. We're allowing them. And other people who have firsthand experience, you know, whether you believe them or not, saying they break treaties all the time. You know, they're no better. So even though they may have more technology, they may be more advanced, they're not to necessarily always be trusted. So I would again rely on our source, the one true God, for everything, and nobody or anything else, you know. So anyway, that's my message for today. Take a listen to the couple of songs I just did, and hopefully it'll help lift your spirits. And leave me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe only if you like it. Have a beautiful week. Try to get in a few more videos this week. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay. Love hearing from you. And Ollie, it's so good to hear from you again, my little friend from Poland. You take care. And I know school year is probably coming up, so hope you do well. And all my love to you guys. Bye-bye.